Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to another buzzing Pattaya YouTube video, and as you may or may not be aware, I'm actually back home. I'm up in Korat and back reunited with my family that I haven't been able to come and see now for nearly 6 months. It's been a long time due to the COVID situation, and also because the village where I am here, predominantly most people are aged like 65, 70. It's a very elderly village in terms of the residents here, so of course they're very concerned about me bringing COVID back. But now I've had my double jabs, happy days, I can come home, and here I am, I'm in Korat. So what I thought I'd do is, a lot of people have been asking me, what's it like when you leave Pattaya, what's it like in different areas of Thailand, etc. Now I'm sure many of you have already traveled. I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs. I know you know what the score is. Some of you may not have, so hopefully this video will, if nothing else, at least show you what a different style of life we lead when we leave the city centre of Pattaya. So this video has no real set format in terms of, because I'm up here, I'm just going to grab snippets as and when I can. I'm going to go into the Korat city centre, show you what goes on in there. I'll go around some of the villages and show you some of the village life, what we do, etc. Or rather what we don't do. You know, where I live, there are, get yourself ready for this, there are no bars, there are no clubs, there is, I think, well actually in the area I live, there is no restaurants. The restaurants we have to drive to. Everyone here is asleep by about 8 o'clock at night, and because they get up very early. The average person here wakes up around about 3 o'clock in the morning, and all the farm life starts, etc. So I'm just going to really just throw loads of different things at you. Hopefully you'll find this of interest. For those of you that are not aware about Korat, Korat is basically the pottery and ceramic capital of Thailand. It's where everything goes on, and I will go up and show you the ceramic village. It's incredible what they do, and so my dogs are walking around. So it is like the ceramic and pottery capital of this country, and that's quite interesting. The city centre is okay. There's like a huge Terminal 21. There's a massive market called Save One. I can't take you there this time, sadly, because at the moment it's currently closed, which is a real shame, because it makes Trepasit Market look like a postage stamp. It really is that big. We've got a few points of interest in the city centre. Ironically, even though I'm saying there's no bars and no restaurants, in the city there is. But we've also got what I believe to be the most amount of soapy massages here in the city than any other city in Thailand. I'm not quite sure. Naturally, I haven't been to find out, because I value my meat and 2 veg, and if my missus was to catch me, I'll be in a world of trouble. But anyway, I haven't been to see them, but there are a lot, and I'll show you a couple as we ride around, etc. All right, guys, so that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified. Check out our Discord area and our members area, please. There's so much going on there. Discord's fantastic. Over 5,000 people on there, all like you. They've got a wonderful interest in Pattaya, which hopefully is showing signs of recovery. All right, enough from me. Let's go take a look at what goes on here in Korat. All right, so one part of, or a big part, should I say, of Korat is we have that, as I said, the biggest ceramic area industry here in Thailand, and I'm going to show you now some of the places and some of the creativity that they put into the designs here. To be fair, I could make a video for hours and hours showing you all these places, but I won't go into all that. What I want to do is just show you. Now we've got, basically there's about, I think it's about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 long roads, probably 3 kilometers each road, and each one, as you can see now here, is packed full of pottery shops. And they do some really good stuff, like, stuff for outside in the garden, stuff for in the home. It really is incredible. When you come to Pattaya, pretty much all the ceramic that you see will have been shipped down from here. And it's amazing to watch. Some of my family, Mo's family, are involved in this, and they make all these different things. I've even had a go myself, and yes, you're absolutely right, I failed dismally. That's spinning that stuff on them kilns, or not kiln, that's what you dry it in. What do you call it? You know, the thing that goes around. I know, I have no idea, I'm useless. But it's a lot harder. The potter's wheel, is it? Is it called the potter's wheel? Something like that. But as you can see, I'm not going to walk around everything, but it just gives you a good idea as to the variety that's available here. And it really is incredible. You know, when you do travel around different cities around Thailand and you do get yourself out of Pattaya, it's great. You know, you get to see so much different things going on, different aspects to the country. The people are so different, the culture is so different, the way of life is so different. And for me, you know, it's brilliant. I love it. And they're really good. You know, some of this stuff is really clever what they do. Really, really clever. But as I say, we've got so many roads up here that are just rammed full of these places. And you see there the truck in the distance, so they're packing that truck out. Man, they cram it in. And they deliver all around Thailand. All around Thailand. From little miniature to huge, massive, great big... in fact, actually, I'll tell you what, I say I'm not going to show you too much. Let me go around here, I'll show you this. Look at this. So, wind chimes, hanging baskets, some huge statues as well. In the particular part I'm in right now, there isn't a massive amount of huge statues, but they are here. So colourful, and there's some really random stuff as well. You know, I mean, like down there, look, the giraffes. But they love it, you know, and it's great. It's great that they can do all this kind of stuff. And then you go to the other extremes over here, where it's a lot more intense. Here you go. And the detail level is just incredible. And this isn't machined. You know, they make these. You watch the people here, they sit here for hours and hours, days upon days, painting and making these Sawadee Cup, Wadee Cup. And just up here, look, here you go. Vases, beautiful vases, look at these. There you go. All right, so let's wrap this part up. I just wanted to show you what they do here. Really is fantastic. Beautiful. Hopefully you're not asleep by now. And see what I mean about random stuff. Look at that, a frog reading a book with a lily in his front of him. I don't know. All right. All right, so there you go. I just wanted to show you what Korat is very well known for. As I say, there's a huge amount of pottery here, massive amounts. And I could literally spend hours and hours walking you around. There's just incredible things here. Huge, big, like 8-10 foot statues they make and all kinds of stuff. All right, so as I say, there's no real format to this video. I'm just going to grab stuff as and when I can and just show you what goes on here in village life. Back soon. All right, so you see the statue there? That's a very famous lady. Her name is Yamo, and basically, from what I understand, so don't hold me to this, but from what I understand, she was very influential back in the early days and kept the city safe. And in fact, I don't want to walk up there, I'll walk around. Let's just have a wander. But just around here is the historic entrance. But you get a lot of people come here and pay their respects. And also I've been told, and my missus told me this, but apparently people come here and they pray to Yamo because they are looking for fertility. And those of them that are struggling to find a child, etc., that are looking to have a baby, they come here and pray to the lady there for fertility. And apparently it works. And this is a famous entrance. Not really sure about what's going on there. But if it does work, if it is a fertile area, trust me, my missus ain't coming anywhere near this place. And what's really nice about this area is there's a lot of, it's surrounded by like a moat. There's a big moat that surrounds it. I'm just going to show you this on the other side. And it really is a breath of fresh air. You know, we're a million miles away from life in Pattaya. And in terms of geographical location, I think we're about 100 kilometers, maybe a little bit more, away from Buriram. I think Khon Ken's about 160k. You know, you got Udon Thani not too far away, Royet not too far away again. But you see, we've got these rivers, and they surround pretty much the whole of the city centre. And I will show you later on, we do have a big Terminal 21, but there you go there, Klang Plaza. Klang being in the centre, Plaza being the shopping centre. But there's a lot goes on here. See, now she's asking me, do I want any fish to go and feed the fish? Copper mark, But in here, see here, look, so what they do is they get these fish and they release them into the water, and basically it's meant to give them good luck. And this dude here definitely needs to go for a swim, as do these bad boys. Not really my cup of tea, I've got to be honest with you. I am an animal lover, I don't really like it. But it is what it is, and that's their way, and you have to respect that. You see them come down here feeding the pigeons. My bang on May? See, I just said to my bang, are you hot? She went a little bit. And my bang's our oldest daughter. She's not my actual daughter, but she's as good as. And here you go, all this here. All right, I'm not really sure what that's for. My bang in here though, what's that for? Meidul, do you know? You say how much, mate? So you put 5 baht in, and he, hello. Meidul, you're useless, aren't you? She don't even know. And in true Thai style, look, there's a lot more coffee shops here, like Class Cafe. Over there in the distance, you might be able to see Cafe Amazon. So there's a lot here. So what we're going to do is, May? No, oh, she doesn't want to drink. No, that's a first. All right. So what we'll do is we'll head over. There's places here. I'll show you some of the streets. Let's go for a walk. Come on. God, I've just said the dreaded word, walk. I have to walk. And what we do have here is, you'll see over there, the tuk-tuk. So unlike Pattaya, we don't have BART buses, we have tuk-tuks. And we also, hopefully I'll get to see one. Is anyone going to stop? No? Thank you. Very kind of you, thank you. What we do have here is tuk-tuks. And we also have, oh, my cup of mug. But look at that, how funky is that? How cool is that? But we also have, and maybe we'll see one, but we have people in bicycles, tricycles. And they've got a little umbrella over the top, and they will cycle you around. And I'll tell you what, I don't envy them that job. Just like you'd expect really back in the city. There's all kinds of stuff you can buy here. In terms of prices, a little bit cheaper than what you expect to find in Pattaya, because obviously that's a tourist destination, whereas this isn't. There's some more tuk-tuks there. And they're not cheap, to be fair. Like a tuk-tuk from here to back home, which in distance of Pattaya is probably, if we was to go from say you went from the beginning of Beach Road to Jomtien, that kind of distance, for me, in a tuk-tuk would be 300, oh, let's go this way, that way, would be about 300, 350 baht, one way. So if you think about the BART bus is 10 baht, and if you go from Beach Road all the way over to Jomtien, say it was 20 baht, that puts it into perspective. Jam Dai motorcycle, okay? Remember the motorbike. We'll go off on this walk and I'll forget where the bloody thing is. Now, even though you see this BART bus here, it isn't a BART bus that you're thinking like it is back home. It goes around a very strict, very small circuit, and predominantly aimed at the elder generation. So if you do come here, and let's just say you meet a newfound love of your life, and she says, let's go to Korat, come up. Come up. We have got a lot of interesting things here. There's no point really going up there, to be fair. But we've got a lot of big shopping malls. We've got the Save One Market. and unfortunately I can't take you there, but that's enormous. And like I said earlier, it makes Cheppasit Market look like a postage stamp. It really does. It genuinely does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off in a second. We'll just get to the front of Klang Plaza, and we'll stop here. I want to try and head over towards the Soapies. Not that they're really worth showing you because they're all shut, but we do have a lot here. So if I get to get one, fine. If we don't, no dramas. I have to go over to Terminal 21. And my missus, in true Thai style, believe this or not, I am not kidding you, said to me, when you go into town today, can you bring me back a MacD? Can you believe it? All this beautiful Thai food, and she wants a McDonald's. Hey ho. All right. In fact, actually, there you go. As if by magic, now that one over there, that's a Soapy. And I've never been to one here, so I have no idea what to expect. I don't know whether it's a very similar concept to what we expect back in Pattaya. I'm guessing it probably is. And there are a lot of these. Now, whether or not that's where, let's head back, whether or not that's where some of the college girls go to earn some extra money, I honestly don't know. Please don't hold me to it. I genuinely don't know. But what I do know is that we do have a lot of soapy massages here, which I suppose, if you consider we don't have a huge amount of tourism, and predominantly most of the people that are here are living here or just a quick visit, I guess really, in all fairness, there's not much of a call for it, as in like for tourism. So they must be taking care of like the business side of things here, as in like the businessmen that work here. I really don't know. Probably talking crap now, but I really don't know, in all fairness. And we do have some really lovely restaurants. So once things reopen, 100% I will show you what they're all about. We got places like Dok Mai Cafe. Dok Mai is fantastic. Oh man, live music, great food. Well, I'll tell you what, just go onto Facebook and type in Dok Mai, D-O-K-M-A-I, Korat, Dok Mai Korat. Just type it in. Trust me, you'll be glad you did if that's your thing. All right, so a few days in now, been here about 6 days. And what I'm going to do is, I just thought this would be really good as well, just to give you guys an insight as to what to expect if you come to a village life. Maybe you're going to come up with your newfound girlfriend or whatever, and you're going to experience village life. So while I'm talking, I'm going to show you lots of videos, footage of what it's like here. And I'm just going to give you a few tips and a few pointers as to what to expect when you come up here. Therefore you won't be arriving and thinking, my Lord, what have I done? It's a lovely morning. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Sun's up, beautiful sunshine. The dogs are running around. My missus is doing the pots. She's putting plants and that, whatever. I don't know whatever she's doing over there, gardening of some description. And you might get the chickens and that start making a lot of noise, whatever, etc., etc. All right, so what is village life really like? When you leave the bright lights and city atmosphere in Pattaya and you come out to the village life, what are you going to expect? Well, I'll tell you now, I know right now, obviously the city's dead, so it's kind of same but different. Actually, it's busier up here than what it is down there. But basically, you know, when you come up to the village, you really do need to be prepared. You really genuinely have to be prepared, especially if you've never done this before. So a few things. Number one is make sure you bring some books, or if you're into your podcast or maybe YouTube, whatever, bring some form of communication that will allow you to watch videos, read books, etc., etc., because you are going to be bored. There is no way of saying it other than the way it is. You are going to be bored. And the reason I say that is because you're going to have a huge communication issue. And also, you know, Thai people are very family orientated. Okay, we're not, in terms of the fact that, you know, when we go somewhere, we like to go off and explore. They don't want to do that. They're more than happy sitting around, you know, having their food, talking. You wouldn't believe the kind of things they talk about, just random stuff. But you are going to have long periods of time where you will just be sat around doing predominantly nothing. So, you know, come up with a book, come up with stuff. They won't be offended if you're sat there reading while they're all talking away. It really isn't a problem. So, you know, guys, do be prepared. In terms of clothing and stuff like that, you know, if you are someone that gets maybe bitten by mosquitoes, make sure you bring plenty of mosquito cream or spray, whatever it is you use, particularly if you're going out to a remote area. You know, some of these areas, there's only like one 7-Eleven and it's miles away. Don't forget, you may not have transport. Obviously, you know, if you can ride a motorbike, well, then that's fine. If you can't, there's no Bolt taxis and stuff like that up here. You know, you've got to really start planning for what you're going to be walking into. And I say this if you go into like a remote village. If you go into some of the cities up here, like Udon, Konkan, etc., you say, well, you've got no problems. But if you are going to go to village life, and I would say you've got a higher percentage chance of going into a village than you have into a city, because that's predominantly where most of the girls will come from. You know, you've got to be prepared. So mosquito cream, mosquito spray, 100%. Socks, you know, if you don't want your feet to get bitten, you know, you walk around, there's a lot of ants and stuff here. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, I'm just being totally truthful and upfront with you. So be prepared to have long periods of time when you're not going to have a lot to do. Bring stuff to read, etc. Protect yourself at all times in terms of mosquitoes and ants and those kind of things. The toilet. Okay, you are going to be in a very high probability of walking into a toilet that's the hole in the ground. And whilst we're doing our number ones, that's probably very easy and no issues. But if you are needing to do a number two, then you've got to be prepared for the balancing trick and the water and the tissue. You know, a lot of these places, especially when you go out to the remote areas, a lot of these holes in the ground will not have toilet tissue. I know it's crazy and it's like, you just assume they will, but they don't have toilet tissue. So again, you know, I've got a man bag, and some people laugh about my man bag, but put some toilet roll in your man bag. It's much better to look like that and have all your needs in one place rather than go into and think, oh my good Lord, what am I going to do now? You know, is it a case of like doing what you got to do and then, you know, costing yourself a pair of underpants because you need something to wipe your ass with? I'm just saying, guys, just saying. So, you know, the toilets are always pretty much hole in the ground. There's not many that have got what we would call a European toilet where you'd sit down and flush. So again, be prepared for that. Food. All right, when you come to village life, remember when you go to village life, they do not have McDonald's, KFCs, international food, all that kind of stuff. You know, they will be eating Thai or mainly Isan food. So you are going to be expected to eat rice, noodles, soups, meats, you know, all these kind of things. There is a lot of spices involved in Thai food, although they can cook without the spice, so that's not a massive issue. So, you know, be prepared for the food change. There is going to be dishes presented to you where you're thinking, what on earth is going on? And the old cliche of sharing is caring. Do not be offended if they put a bowl of food in front of you and suddenly 3 or 4 people are tucking into it as well, and you're like, okay, what's that about? It happens, okay, it happens. It's just they share everything. You know, they'll literally make 5 or 6 dishes and they'll give you a plate of rice, boiled rice, and you know, everyone just tucks in. So don't be offended by that. Don't be put out, and you know, just interact. You know, take food from other dishes. It's fine, not a problem. When you sit down, I know this is going to sound crazy, but trust me, when you sit down, do not point your feet at anybody in terms of the soles of your feet, you know, because you are going to be expected to sit down quite a lot on the floor. And if you do sit on the floor, do not point your feet. That's why Thai people cross their legs and their feet are facing to the side or behind them. And more so, and really more importantly, please do not point the soles of your feet towards your girlfriend's or wife's mother or father or any of the elders. It's really disrespectful, so disrespectful. I've mentioned this before, videos about the sole of your feet is obviously the lowest part of your body, and the top of your head is obviously the highest point, and they regard that in that way. So don't sit down and face your feet forward at her mum or dad or an elder. It really is massively disrespectful. They won't say anything to you because they'll appreciate perhaps you're not aware, but they will say to your missus, hey, you know, have a word. So, you know, just be pre-warned when you do sit down. Do not face your feet at mum and dad or any of the elders. In terms of drinking, again, you're going to be very limited. You know, Leo, Chang, you know, Singha, all these are the standard beers. You're not going to find, unless you're lucky enough to get to a 7-Eleven, you're not going to find all your normal beers that maybe you enjoy, like your San Miguel's, etc., etc. So be prepared. And you know, they do drink beer with ice in. I do it all the time. It's common practice. So you know, you don't have to have ice, but if you give them a glass and it will come back, you might find you got ice in your beer. So just you know, don't be freaked out. They want us out. Evening. Thai people are very family orientated. They really like to get together as families, and they do a lot of things as a family. So when you do go up to the village, particularly if it's your first time, you know, you are going to be showcased. You are going to be paraded around. That is to be expected. Don't be offended by it. It's your missus' way of saying, hey, you know, this is my new boyfriend, and she will be proud as punch to introduce you to all her family. It is what it is. So don't be offended by that. And they will sit and they will look at you and they will talk in Thai about you and they will laugh and look at you and laugh. It's nothing personal, okay? It's just the way they are. So when they are looking at you and maybe laughing, they might be saying, I want to say hello, but I don't know how to, and they'll laugh. And we look at them thinking, are they having a laugh at me? Are they like looking at me and you know, having a pop? So don't be offended. Don't think they're talking at you and about you. They're just talking in general. Language is going to be an issue. It really is, because unless you've got a good hold on the language up here, you aren't really going to be able to communicate. I mean, even myself, I've got a reasonably good level of Thai, and I stand there sometimes, I think, what on earth are they talking about? And the village elders, they talk in a completely different language. Like, it's not even Thai, it's like some elderly, way back in the olden days kind of language. So I have no idea what they speak about. But, you know, try to be polite. Remember, when you do greet mum and dad, you got to be whying up here, okay? Not up here, here, middle of your nose. You got to why, bow your head. That's the respectful way. And when someone whys to you and you want to thank them, under your chin, okay? Thank you very much. So the children will why to you here. You then why to the parents here, because they're the next step up. So remember, the children why to you, they're going to step up. You're going to why to mum and dad, you're going to step up again. And every time, doesn't matter who it is, whenever you say thank you, under the chin, thank you very much, cop and cap. So be prepared for that side of things. If you go out for days out, whether you kind of like it or not, or whether, you know, how do I say this? When you go out, generally speaking, you are going to be in a situation where you may well be expected to pay the bill. Okay, it's just the way it is. Don't be offended by it. You know, they don't earn a lot of money in a lot of the villages, and a lot of what you're going to go and do is going to be pennies. I mean, you know, if I take the family down to the big lake we got here, and we'll sit there, have food, have beer and everything, you're talking like $1,000 bucks. You know, it's nothing. So don't be overly cautious about what you do and think, oh, I'm going to get robbed here. You know, chances are you won't, but there is going to be an element where you will be expected to pay. And of course, from your missus' point of view, it's nice for her, because then she gets a little bit of kudos, which is, yeah, my other half, he's going to pay for everything. So it's kind of nice for her as well. But just be expecting that situation should it arise. Night times, most of us said, you know, certainly here, most of the places where I am, they go to bed early. You might find some of the Thai lads will stay up drinking late. If you want to engage in that, okay, each to their own. I'm not going to say you shouldn't. Just be a bit more aware that, you know, you might find that they're a little bit more animated than you're probably expecting when they've had a few beers. But mornings, if you're a late riser, forget that. Okay, forget it. You're going to be up early. That's village life. Welcome to the real world of Thailand. So you are going to be getting up early. So expect that. You know, don't think that that's not going to happen, because it is. But in all, and if you've never been to a village, I would suggest agreeing before you come up to maybe do 3 or 4 days. I would also do your homework. You might find that your room that you're going to sleep in might be a mattress on the floor with a mosquito net over the top. So again, you know, just be a bit more aware of what to expect. But do your homework. There might be some motels nearby, some hotels, etc. Have a look on Google. It might be a 10-minute drive. If you've got a vehicle, that's not the end of the world. So, you know, again, just be a bit more prepared. The reason I'm saying all of this, excuse me, the reason I'm saying all this is because I really want you to enjoy when you do step out of the city life into village life. I really want you to enjoy it. And there's nothing worse than coming somewhere and being unprepared and then it ruins your trip. So, you know, some of these tips I'm giving you are pretty much old hat. Some of you guys that have been here a long time will say, yeah, been there, done it, got the t-shirt, etc, etc. Guys, if you are someone that travels up to the village regularly, I mean, please, you know, I'm no expert. I'm just telling you what I've learned and what I've experienced over the years. But guys, please drop your comments below. Tell people what things you've experienced, good and bad. You know, let's share so that people reading the comments can actually pick up on that and go, do you know what, that's a great idea. I never thought of that. And, you know, so that's it. All right, so while I've been talking, hopefully you've enjoyed all the video cutaways that I've been showing you in different aspects of what goes on here. It's been an interesting video. To be honest with you, I was a bit unsure about this because, to be fair, I could make 50 videos about Korat and the village life here, but instead I've tried to cram it into this one video, and hopefully it's kind of like been okay. So, you know, well, I'm waffling now, but I'm not really sure whether it was a good or a bad video, so anyway, we'll go with that. All right, guys, so that is village life. I'm going to head back home. By the time you watch this, I will be back in Pattaya and back out doing my thing. Fingers crossed, we're going to start to see some indication of the bars opening and stuff like that, and some normality. I know a lot of people are saying about they're not going to come over whilst this, you know, the conditions are here and the restrictions, etc, etc. And I totally get that. I really do. I 100% am on your side as to why you're not going to travel. So let's hope and pray that things happen sooner rather than later. All right, guys, there you go. So that's Korat. That's village life. That's what it's all about. This was a short video just to show you about this, and hopefully if you enjoy it, when I do keep coming back home now, I'll go off and do more specific videos about certain aspects of what it's like here. And hopefully when I do come back, the evening entertainment will be open and I can go and show you Dok Mai. You're going to love Dok Mai. If nothing else, if you come to Korat, you've got to go to Dok Mai. Okay. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out our members area on YouTube. Please have a look on there. And if you do decide to join YouTube and support the channel, send me through your digital picture, and I will in turn send you back your ID card, your digital ID card. And when you do come over, we've got so many places now going to give you free shots and discounts on hotels and restaurants and stuff. We're building a great little network there. And get on our Discord. Get on our Discord. Talk about village life in there. There's so many experienced people that are in there that are sharing their knowledge. There's over 5,500 people in there right now, and all with the love of wonderful Thailand and Pattaya in its entirety. That's it, guys. I'm out of here, and thanks very much for watching. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe.